Earth, air, fire, and water, and spirits. With your powers combined, I am Captain Planet. Oh, wait, this is the wrong game. The wrong show, even. Oh, anyway, make sure you stick around to the end for the special announcement and everything. So, here we showcase the beginner's box for the latest release for Magic the Gathering, the good old Avatar the Airbender. So, as of this recording, it just came out this week. So, I did take part of the pre release and everything. So, I can already say that this one is definitely like a lot better than I would say like Spider-Man. Now, the good thing about Spider-Man expansion that they had for Magic a couple months ago, back in September, as of this recording, the Venom characters seemed to be pretty good, and they did have the Soul Stone card, which was a good card and quite expensive too, because the cheapest one was like valued at $80. But getting back into this one, this is the latest one. So this, as you can see, is the beginner box. So beginner boxes, like starter sets, sort of like starter sets, like for D&D, a great place to get started with anything. So as you can see here, it's the best, as it says, the best way to learn. You get 2 instant play decks, 2 learn to play guides, and 8 Kickstarter decks, Kickstart decks, and more. So I should put this back on so we can showcase back. So you get the tokens, you get dice, you get like the guide, you get the cards. It gets like the explanation right here, and then like 2 instant play decks, learn to play guides, play mats, jumpstart decks, and spin down life counters. You can use dice, or like you can buy your own, but like you pretty much are provided everything right here. So I did get this like last night as of this recording, and this was like $43 and everything. So for $43 to get started, it's actually pretty good. So as you can see, I already opened the tokens. So now tokens, the way these work is like sometimes like when you like play a card, they say create like a 1/1 ally token. So you get a bunch of allies. You get like the what you can do on your turn, and showcases on the back end of these. So on the back of the tokens, you got like also a 2/2 soldier token and like a 1/1 spirit token. So those are like the tokens that you can kind of create. Like I said, when like certain conditions are met, like you bring in a card, it says create an 1/1 ally token, or like you cast a spell and be able to do that. So you got like the good old welcome to Magic. And then you can continue your journey. As you can see, this different stuff that you can get, like the collector boosters bundle, commander bundle, and jumpstart play boosters. So that's the different stuff that you can get. So as I'm throwing stuff around, so here you get a card, so anyway, here you get like the rules reference. So like basics, anatomy of the Magic card, card types, game zones, starting a game, turn structure, combat, important concepts like the golden rule, common terms, responding to spells and abilities, because sometimes you have like what's called an instant card, meaning you can tap your mana and instantly cast it. So even on your opponent's turn, you can like blue, the color blue islands are famous for this. They're for counter spells, being able to tap your mana and do a counter spell. So like when someone says I cast my commander, you can be like and counter spell it and everything. So that's the rule book. And then like here we got the 2 different quick start guides for the 2 different decks that you can see. You can get the Zuko deck, the Aang deck. So as I pull stuff out and everything, so you see here we actually get 2d20. So like in standard, what you do is you get 20 life and everything, so you can use that like for like a life counter. Or like in commander, you get 40, so you can use both of these. So depends on what type of like format you're playing. Nowadays most people play commander, not standard. So like standard 60 card deck, commander 100 card deck. So you got your commander plus 99 cards. So like you can see here the board, you got like your life total, the exile, creatures, lands, library, and graveyard. And so back is completely black, back in black. So as you can see, we got like the tokens and stuff that you can use. And so this it gives you like a +1/+1 counters that you can use. So that can fold up, and so now we got another play mat. So you got like a 2. So as you can see, there's really nothing underneath there, but this kind of shows you like a different types. So like the different colors. So white, plains, blue, islands, black are swamps, red is mountains, and green are forest. So as you can see, it kind of like does a description on all the different colors and stuff, and like basically like a good kind of like a brief description on what each one does and everything. So I fumbled to put this back. So now we actually get into the cards and everything. So like all right, so as we open this, get rid of this garbage. So you can see like a jumpstart deck. So now we get into the actual cards and everything. So you can see Aang tutorial, that's like a don't shuffle and everything. So you get to like the different cards. So like for instance, I'll go briefly over the different types of cards. So this one is like a creature. So these ones that you actually cast, and the mana right there is what you use. Like for instance, right here is the mana. So like you put out like you can play one land per turn. So you use these to cast these spells and everything. So like for instance, this one only costs 1 white. So but then as you can see, this is a creature. So this is what you're going to be defending and attacking with. So this creature enters tapped. So you got like a creature, a human peasant. That's what it is. That's the type of creature it is, human peasant. This is what it is. This is its power and toughness. So power is how much damage you can do. Toughness is how much damage this can take. So for instance, compared to like a 3/3 creature right here, this one right here, Sokka Wolf Cloves Protector, would be able to deal 3 damage to him and soak up the 2 damage because it has 3 power, 3 toughness. So this one would die, but this one would stay alive. So those are the creature spells. So like at like the instance I was talking about with like the islands, the blue, like the counter spells. So you can cast like for like, as you can see, 1 white Aang's defense instance. So target blocking creature you can go control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. So draw a card. So like that scenario I just used, like if they were attacking with Sokka's wolf, and I was defending with like this Wolf Clove villager, I cast this instant on this to defend with. It gets +2/+2. So now that becomes 4 power, 4 toughness, and instead of this dying, it would be able to soak up the 3 power and be able to get rid of the Sokka and do 4 damage to this one and get rid of that one. So that's like an instant. So there's another legend, like as you can see, like different types of creatures, legendary. So let's see if I can find enchantment is another type of card that you can cast. So like this one costs 2 colorless and a white, so you can use a white and then 2 any other types of mana to be able to cast it. And then like as you can see this, you have to cast enchantments on your turn. So like when this enchantment enters, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. Allies you control get +1/+1. So like the tokens I was talking about, that creates the ally token, and this also would give it a +1/+1. So those ally tokens would become 2/2. So as you can see here, a different type of creature that like I'm thinking of this one, the next card. So with 2 colorless, and then the here you can use either 2 green or 2 white, or like 1 green, 1 white. So when you see symbols like that, it's like a kind of like an either or type of deal. So enchantments, instances, creatures. You can see we got artifacts. So like the artifacts are kind of like things that you can instance equipment, as you can see here. So you can cast this for 1. And then, like as you can read this text, when this equipment enters, attach it to a target creature you control. equipped creature has flying, so you have to spend an extra 2 to equip it and everything. So, for instance, like a creature like the Kyoshi Warrior Guard right here, if I were to cast this for 1 and then spend 2 to equip it, this Kyoshi would actually have flying. So flying is like one of those abilities where like you can only be defended by other flying creatures or creatures that have reach. So we went over to instances. So land, this is like a non-basic land, and so like you can this enters tapped. As it enters, choose a color other than white. Add white or 1 mana of the chosen color. So I could choose maybe like a green or something instead. So as you can see now, like we get into like the different like types of like stuff. So here it says water bending. So this is like we're getting to blue, and so we go through blue. I'm going to kind of go quickly through this stuff and everything. So I get like another non-basic land, and this is what's known as the basic land. So, and if I were to have like say 2 land like these, I could still only play 1 of them each turn. So now we got like spells. Right, you can see blue. So we got blue and white so far. Then like red. So you can see how like we get 3 different colors in that set that we can be able to like do like a combination of like a monocolor, like mono red, mono blue, or we can do like a red blue, white blue, red blue, or whatever, a combination of them. So it depends on what kind of like deck you want to build. So eventually I probably should be doing like a deck building guide and everything. So now if you're brand new to like this Magic the Gathering, as I'm kind of like trying to fumble over my words as I open this, these beginner boxes are great and everything, as you can see, because it lets you create your own deck. But there are also ones that like out there that are known as pre-con or pre-constructed decks that you can get like that are based on like the expansion. So like I haven't seen any of the pre-constructed decks yet for like Avatar, but like the previous iterations for like expansions like the Edge of Eternities, Lord of the Rings, Final Fantasy, they have like I said, pre-con, or short for pre-constructed decks that are already in a sense pre-built for you, that you can basically unpack like this and use right out of the box and everything, or the package. So here we can get into like counters and stuff. So as you can see, we now are starting to get into like swamps or black. So now we got like every color. We're going to have every color covered with this and everything. So we got black, and you can see, like I said before, when you see something like this, it's either or. So like it's either white or black. So you can, as you can see, do a combination of them. So we got black, we got more red, and then we got green in here. So like here, for instance, we got an instance that's red or green +1. So kind of flipping through this real quick to kind of showcase the cards and stuff. So as a big box and everything, as a beginner box, you can see we get like enough cards to be able to make 2 decks and everything. So I'll put these cards back real quick and kind of put stuff back. And so like I said, for these dice, it's good. You can use them to like in a sense track life. Like you can start like there's 20 right there, and all the way down to 1. And like if you're playing Commander, you can use both of these because you get 40 life in Commander versus 20 in Standard. So I'll put those right there. Put these back. So slide those right in there. So we'll go over the Zuko deck right here. So you can see like what explains it and everything. It's like I'm like going blah 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 blah. So Zuko deck already in order. You get two red soldier creature tokens, 20-sided dice to track your life. The battlefield mats, like you get the rules reference guide, and then like your training deck, you can see like the number ones, like how like okay, here's how you build this deck and everything. So like gets into like starting the game. You can draw 7 cards on your first turn, your hand, and like there is like what's known as like a mulligan. So for instance, what you do is you can toss out like a toss out, but like you can shuffle back in your hand if you don't have any lands in your hand, or if you don't have any monsters. So like for instance, like you can see all land here, you could what's known as mulligan, put that back into your deck and shuffle it up again. But the drawback is now instead of drawing 7, you have still draw 7, but put 1 at the bottom of your deck and everything. So this goes into like the actual like flow of play though, and so I might have to do like a playthrough or whatever, like I did in the Overpower video way back when. So this, so that way I can showcase like, hey, look, this is how you actually play and everything. So it goes first turn, second turn, and then like goes through like turns. So that way, like it gives you an idea, like, oh, hey, look, this is what you can do. And as I kind of like, I'll flip through this real quick. So sixth turn for like Aang, and then it shows like the responses and stuff that like they can do. So, and you get all artwork at the end, and then they do like the same thing with the Aang deck. So they go, I fumbled to get this open. Same deal, like the Aang deck already in order. +1/+1 counters, 20-sided dice to use for life. Battlefield, like the that's why like 1, 2, or you could get ones like I have one right here for play mats that you can get as the battlefield mat. Showcases like your actual deck, what you're doing for cards. As I flip this, and then same deal, like it showcases like how to do draw your tap, like tapping your like phases, and then gets into for this turn. It gets like into like what you can do each turn, and so it kind of goes through that real quick and everything. So those are like the quick start guides, and so these are like the counters that I showcased before. So these are like the 1/1 counters, like I said, that you can use, and then this gives you like the rules reference, so we'll go back through that. So like I went through like the anatomy of the card before, and like I went through like the several different types. This is what you can get in here. It showcases the card types, and so basically this tells you all you need to know. Now I didn't mention the sorcery cards, which is like the other type of cards. So like creatures, artifacts, enchantments, sorceries, instances, and lands are pretty much your different types of cards. So you got your game zone. So you can follow this or whatever, but I kind of set it up slightly different. So like I'll put like in essence, like I'll have my counter like over on the side. So I'll put like library, then I'll put like graveyard, then I'll turn sideways to exile on this side. I keep lands right here, and then creatures the same and type of deal. So I got everything on this one side, and then I got more space over here for creatures and stuff. And it shows cases like you hold your hand, like I'm holding this kind of up, and that way, like this, so that way you don't showcase like your hand to like your opponent. Gets into like starting game, turn structure. These are like the stuff that you can do each phase of the game. It goes into the all the concepts. So like I want to make sure I showcase everything. So bink, 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 bink. There's that, and then of course back to this and everything. So I put everything back in order. So, and as you can see, it's nice and neat and can box up pretty quickly. And so with a box like this, it's relatively easy to take with you. And as you can see, like put underneath your arm and be able to take with you. So now that we've gone over this real quick and everything, it's time for that like a special announcement and everything. So like I said at the beginning, so the best way to support this channel is to get yourself some coffee or tea. So here is the good old tea. And so what's great about this is like this good old matcha tea. So you boil up some water, and then like a little pouch like this, you just put it in, and like mix it up and everything, and you got yourself a nice drink and everything. And we also got like coffee. So this is the best way to support this channel, is to like get yourself some coffee and or tea. So it's like the same kind of concept with the tea, the coffee. Get yourself some coffee or tea, and that, like I said, is the best way you can support this channel.